Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. And where we are today is in Belfast, and we're actually outside the BRANAGH Memorial Church, as you can see. And this church has a connection with the famous football star Geordie Best. And if I just turn around here, you can see that the road here is called Harland Drive, and there's a reason for that, and that's because it's named after the ship company Harland and Wolff. And so you can see a good view here of the massive cranes for the shipbuilding in the background. David is called one of them, and I think Samson's called the other one, if I remember rightly. But this is the BRANAGH Memorial Church, and it's named after the gentleman BRANAGH. And they were in an old hall from 1955 until 1980, although the foundations of the church, the formation of the church really started before that. But then in 1981, after a year been in between churches, they were in a mobile home or whatever it was. But anyway, in 1981, then this building here opened up for them. The BRANAGH Memorial Church, and you can see the wee billboard there. It says, "Every one of us shall give an account of himself to God." But this church has a big connection with the famous footballer Geordie Best. And the reason for that is, for example, there was a pastor, Roy Gordon, and he's still here at this church, but he actually conducted the famous footballer Geordie Best's funeral. It has another connection as well, but certainly a fantastic connection with Geordie Best. Pastor Roy Gordon spoke first of all in a private service in the George Best family home in the Craigah estate in Belfast, and then at Parliament buildings at Stormont. And another connection in here with this church is Geordie Best's sister Carol, because Carol was a member of BRANAGH Memorial Church for many years. So two connections here with Geordie Best and this church. Amazing, isn't it? Now, at the service, Pastor Gordon quoted the opening line from Charles Dickens, "A Tale of Two Cities." It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. And he remarked that God had blessed George Best with a great gift that brought pleasure to millions. And he spoke of the best footballer, the best family, the best physicians, and then finally he spoke of the best friend, being Jesus Christ, the best friend that anyone could have. And of course, Jesus said himself that he was the friend of sinners. Now, Geordie Best was born on the 22nd of May 1946 in Belfast. He was a Belfast boy, and he was also a professional footballer. He played for Manchester United and Northern Ireland. Now, former teammates Stanislaw and Bobby Charlton were at the funeral, and he played with them in the Manchester United team. But also the more recent manager of Man United, or should I say the ex-manager of Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson, was also at the funeral. And of course, he's probably, if not the best manager in the world, certainly one of the best managers in the world. And so he was at the funeral as well. So was former Northern Ireland teammates Gary Armstrong and Big Pat Jennings, and a number of other ones as well. Even from the different fields were there as well, from the music industry as well, etc. And I went to see Big Pat Jennings play when I was a kid in Windsor Park, Northern Ireland. I can't remember who they were playing, but big potted hands on them like shovels. There was no way the goals were going in. There's no way that ball was going by big Pat Jennings. But it's estimated that close to 100,000 mourners attended the funeral, with 32,000 of them packed into the Stormont estate and the rest lining the streets of Belfast. Now, just 3 weeks before his death, George Best made his best decision. As he lay in hospital contemplating his then inevitable death, the 59-year-old experienced a remarkable conversion to Jesus Christ. He prayed for forgiveness for everything he had done that had caused pain to himself and to others. And George's sister Carol, she said, "When I heard that George had finally found God, I was so happy." And so the 59-year-old has had the story of his conversion. Someone has actually turned the story of his conversion into a gospel track, and it's called George's Best Decision. And of course, George Best died on the 25th of November 2005, and he's buried in Roselawn Cemetery on the outskirts of Belfast. But amazing to think that Geordie Best has a connection with BRANAGH Memorial Church. His sister went there, Carol, and also the minister goes there who conducted the George Best funeral. And of course the church lies just in front of the two big cranes. Fantastic. There's one more thing I want to show you before we wrap this wee video up, and it's not really in connection with George Best, but it's another Belfast boy who I want to show you, who is also famous not for football but as an author, and who was also a born again believer in Christ. And that's this gentleman here, C.S. Lewis, 1898 to 1963. And one of his books are The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. There's the lion, there's the witch, and there's the wardrobe. So there you go. So thanks for watching, and God bless.